All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with tonight's training, which is how to master webinar. So we're going to talk all about mastering our mindset and just really how to do that, because it's easy. It's an easy thought to have. You want to master your mindset, but we all have so much life going on all the time. It can really be hard to master our mindset. So I'm going to give you some practical how-tos on that. And I completely understand crazy. My life right now is everything crazy. So we're moving and getting ready to take our RV across the country and selling our house and doing all kinds of stuff. So it's really easy when you have crazy seasons of life to just make up reasons not to master your mindset. So actually one reason why I started this training during this crazy season of my life is because I told myself, life is always going to be crazy. Think of how many times you have said to yourself, when the kids are bigger, or when I don't have so much work, or when my finances are better. Like, there's just always something going on. Life is always chaotic. So we just have to choose that now is going to be the time to do it, because even in the most crazy seasons, there may be a crazier season coming. Like, we just never know what life's going to bring. So we can't just keep using that reason of, my life is crazy right now, to not master our mindset. So that's why I am doing this at the craziest time of my life. So you have to bear with me on that. But I'm going to share my screen with you all. That way I have a little presentation for you on mastering your mindset. So I believe you should be able to see that now. But that's what this webinar is all about. And so I have today's to do. I'm going to share my top 3 secrets to mastering your mindset. So they're going to be quick, easy, to the point, but you're going to want to make sure you hang around to the end of the webinar, because I do have a little community that I want to tell you about. I've mentioned the Awaken program to you, and it's built exactly for mastering your mindset. So I want to tell you guys all about that towards the end. So who am I and why am I here to tell you about your mindset? So I'm a former fitness professional, and I'm a current freedom coach. So how did that come to be? I started in the fitness industry over a decade ago. It's been about 12 years now. This is my first job at the Scott County Family YMCA. I started teaching fitness classes there when I was 17. And that's really what kind of started my love for fitness. And then you see the Navy hat. I got married when I was 18 to my husband here. We've been married 10 years now. And he was in the Navy. So we traveled for 5 years in the Navy, and everywhere I went, I did something in the fitness industry. So I managed the Anytime Fitness in Virginia. I managed another Anytime Fitness in South Carolina. I taught fitness classes everywhere I went, and I pursued my college degree in health and wellness. So I have my bachelor's in the health field. So I always had kind of in my heart that I wanted to have my own fitness and dance studio, but with the Navy, I just kind of accepted that probably wouldn't happen, because in the Navy we move a lot, and I was okay with that because I love traveling and I love the beach. We were always near the ocean, which was fun. So I just kind of had this as my side thing while I was pursuing my education, and it actually allowed me to meet hundreds of women. I have coached hundreds of women when it comes to their health. This is me right here in the middle. This is a flash mob that I put on. These are my ladies in South Carolina at one of the 3 fitness studios I taught at. So my classes usually averaged about 50 people, and we just had a blast. So I have met so many women from the fitness industry. We thought the Navy was going to be a career of ours until deployment, and we decided that we wouldn't want to bring kids into our family, and my husband have to leave 9 months at a time. So that was his deciding factor for getting out of the Navy. So that allowed me to kind of dream again, my dream of having my own studio, because it would mean we are no longer moving around. So that's when SoulFit was born. He got out of the Navy in 2015, and we moved back home to Indiana. And I opened my fitness studio, started in a church basement, and then moved to a little room, and then eventually had my own studio over 5 years, from 2015 to 2020. So this was the grand opening of my 3rd location, which was my studio. So the church, the little room I rented, and then the studio here. And through that, I was able to meet hundreds of other women, and it just really has opened up so much for me and so many relationships. But what I learned through all of that as a former fitness professional for over 10 years, listening to the stories of hundreds of women, what I've learned is fitness is not the underlying issue. Usually, it's usually something far beyond that. And our mindset is the reason why we can't get healthy, whether it be in our relationships, our fitness goals, our health goals. Oftentimes, our mindset is holding us back from becoming who we are truly meant to be. And I have listened to so many women come in and tell me why they want to lose weight, why they want to get healthy. And it usually ends up a conversation in tears telling me how their marriage is struggling, or their children are struggling, or they have so much depression or anxiety. It is just so much more than the fitness. And that is what has kind of pushed me into this mindset coaching and freedom coaching, ministry related, because I have learned not only from all these women that I have coached, but my own self experience is that if we don't have our foundation right and built upon Christ, our mindset's never going to be in the right place. And from that flows all other aspects of health, our physical health, our mental health, our spiritual health. It all has to come from the foundation of Christ being our firm foundation. And so that's what has kind of led me to here. I mean, it's been a longer journey than this, but I don't want to keep you guys long. I know that time is precious for everyone. But I became a freedom coach because, first of all, a calling. I felt like the Lord was calling me to close my fitness studio when I had my first little guy right here, Saber. But I didn't want to close it. It was my dream, my passion, and I continued to try to make it work for a couple years until he just made that calling so clear on my life that I couldn't say no anymore. My baby was 2 years old, almost two, and I just felt like it was time for me to step away. My marriage was really struggling. I was pouring a lot of time into my business, and God just made it clear it's time to shut the doors. So that was February of 2020, not knowing that a month later, COVID was going to strike and all the fitness studios were going to close down for a year. So thankfully, God protected me in that. And I was a little stubborn. I waited till the very last minute when he said it's time to close the doors. And so then COVID hit and the fitness industry really struggled this whole past year. And then I found out I was going to have, so this all happened right in a row. I closed my studio, COVID hit. I found out I was going to have my third baby, little Ellie, who we just had. And that was just kind of confirmation to me that I wasn't supposed to be in doing the fitness studio anymore, that right now it was time to focus on my family and this calling of ministry. I had gone through depression myself, and I have seen, even being a fitness pro, what it can do to our physical health. Gained 20 pounds very quickly when I was depressed. So I learned a lot about just our mindset through my own journey of struggling with my marriage and my mental health and depression. And then through COVID and being pregnant, I kind of took a year to just really search and soul seek, like, what do you want from me, God? And the word awaken kept coming back to me. Awaken, awaken. It's time for you to awaken. And after I had my baby, I'm a horrible pregnant person. So after the pregnancy was over, I was able to really start to step back into this calling that I feel like God just will not let go away. And that is the calling of the awakening journey. So that is one of the things that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. It's one of the tips that I have to help you guys master your mindset. But awaken means to rise up from your sleep. And when our mind is in a negative place, sometimes it can feel like we're just sleeping through life, right? Like the mundane, wake up, do it again, go to sleep, wake up, do it again. Like you're just sleeping through life and not really rising to your potential. So I want to help you guys today with 3 tips to just kind of try to master that, so that you can awaken to the life around you, because life is short and we're not promised tomorrow. So we can't wait until tomorrow to rise up. We have to decide to do it. So I have 3 tips for you all to master your mindset, crush the goals that you set for yourself, rise up, and really become who God has created you to be. So the very first one is to refocus your mind daily. Now, this is part of our 2-week Mastering Mindset series. So hopefully you've been able to watch some of the old trainings. If you haven't yet, just go in the Facebook group under the guides tab, guide tab, and you can find all the trainings because we talk about some of these in more detail. But I just pulled out some really important ones for you all tonight. So make sure you watch the other trainings at some point. But tip number 1 is going to be to renew and refocus your mind daily, because the power of what you tell yourself is incredible. We don't give it enough credit. You may think that when you tell yourself you're just going to fail again, that it's not affecting you. That's a lie. Every time you tell yourself you're just going to fail again, it's making your mind believe that you're going to fail again. When you tell yourself that you're just not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, you're not fit enough, you're not confident enough, you're not equipped. Every time you tell yourself all of these lies and you think that it's not affecting your mindset, you're lying to yourself, because the person that you hear from the most in a 24-hour period is your own thoughts, your own self. So you may not be saying it out loud, but every time you think to yourself, I'm going to fail again, or here I go again, whatever your hang up is that you keep telling yourself, you are destroying your mindset. And I know I did it to myself over and over, time and time again. That's why we have to renew and refocus our mind daily, because that conversation you're having in your head is what is going to become of your life. So if you're telling yourself, my marriage is never going to be better, it's not going to be. My finances, I'm just always going to struggle. You're always going to struggle. The things you tell yourself, I'm always going to be overweight, I'm never going to get back to that pre-baby weight, then you're never going to get back to it. The things you tell yourself are the things you're going to believe, which is why in our training over, I think it was training 5, where we did your dream self, we wrote out our I am statement. So go back to training number 5 when you have some time, write out your I am statement. This is who you want to be, and read it out loud to yourself, because what you tell yourself has incredible power over your mind. So if I had to give you one tip, a top tip to really help you master your mindset, change the conversation in your own mind. And that's going to take time. It's going to take practice. It's not going to come naturally, because most of us naturally are good at telling ourselves bad things, bashing ourselves, putting ourselves down. So it's not going to be your natural thing. You're going to have to choose to renew your mind and refocus it. Refocus it on Christ every morning. Getting up, having some quiet time with him, asking him to help redirect your thoughts, because on our own, we're going to struggle. We're going to fail. Okay, so I want you to write that down as your secret number 1 for overcoming this battle of the mindset. That is to renew and refocus your mind every single day. Sorry, I'm so thirsty. Y'all drinking your water today? It's an important step in our health journey. But I love the verse in Romans 12:2. It says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because the world tells us all of these negative things all day long, a ton of negative things. We can't be conformed to that. We have to be transformed by renewing our mind. So we wake up every morning, we fix it on Christ, and we get rid of the negative thoughts. We capture that negative thought as soon as it comes in, and we throw it away. All right, so that is the very first tip that I have for you all. And secret number 2, we're going to go ahead and keep moving forward, is to have a success plan. Because if you don't have a vision, you're not going to know what you're chasing. You're not going to know what that goal is that you're after if you don't write it out. And the Bible even talks about this. The verse is in Proverbs 29:18. It says, where there is no vision, the people will perish. And you have to have a vision for where you're going and a goal for your life. And I know goals are one of those things where a lot of us, we don't like to set them because maybe we've really struggled to reach them in the past. Maybe we've really struggled to achieve them. So we don't like to set them. But here's the thing, if there's no vision, just like the Bible says, you're just going to perish. You're not going to know what you're going after. So you're never going to reach anything that's attainable, that you want to achieve, because you don't even know what you're going after. Okay, so step number 2 is to have a success plan. And this was in our training, I believe it was day 6, where it was the 90-day success plan. And this is going to become a very important aspect of our Soul Sisters group. So I will get into that more. But I love breaking our success plan down into a 90-day time frame, because it's a 3-month time frame. So sometimes if we set year-long goals, it just seems overwhelming and hard to capture. So if we can set 3 months, only 90 days, and then break it down into bite-size thirds, 1 month at a time, 4 weeks at a time, it gives us something to really focus on. We can do anything for 4 weeks. If we want to get healthy, we can do it for 4 weeks. If we think about doing it for a whole year, we may really struggle. But if we get in our mind, okay, it's 4 weeks, and then those 4 weeks come and we have some results, we're going to want to keep going the next 4 weeks and the next 4 weeks. So it's very important that you set a 90-day success plan. So you can go back into your trainings in the mindset series and find the PDF for days 7 through 9, and you can find your 90-day success plan right there. But secret number 2 is to write it out. And maybe that isn't some beautiful plan. Maybe it's just a notebook. I have this notebook that goes with me everywhere. Maybe it's just a notebook, and you just write to God, like, God, these are my dreams, these are my plans, these are my goals, help me to achieve them. Write it out. It activates another part of your brain that's going to really help you master that mindset. Okay, so secret number 1 is to change the thought that's going on in your brain. Change what you're telling yourself. It's crucial. Secret number 2 is to have a plan for yourself. Have a goal, have a vision for yourself. Where there's no vision, you're going to perish. Okay, and then secret number 3, and what I believe to truly be the biggest, most important secret to really overcoming our mind, is to have a community, have a tribe. You need like-minded people holding you accountable. Okay, and that could be a church group that you're involved in. Maybe you meet with them every week or every other week. It could be a best friend that you just talk to, that you maybe set a plan together to do. It could be a group of ladies that goes out for coffee once a week. You just need a community. You need a tribe of people holding you accountable, okay? And that's what the Soul Sisters Awakening journey is all about, holding each other accountable to master our mindset. Because the Bible tells us in Proverbs 27, it says, as iron sharpens iron, a friend sharpens a friend. So it's so important that God created these relationships for us. It's so important that we have this in our lives to really help us just stay focused and have someone say, hey, how are you doing with that? How are you doing with that? So sometimes that's hard to do if we're not in the right community. So the question that I would want to ask you is, are you ready to rise up? So remember, I told you a little bit about Awaken, and I want to tell you about this Awaken journey that we're doing. The word awaken means to rise up. So think about rising from your sleep. And I just really felt in my heart this past year when 2020 ended. It ended with, we had our baby born in December, and my marriage was just really struggling. It had been struggling for a while. And I told my husband, I will not live another year this same way. For 5 years, the battle of depression had been going on in our home. And I told him, I will not live a 6th year in this rut. I refuse to do it. And I said, with or without you, I told this to my husband, I'm going to become the best me. And I would love for you to do that with me, but I can't stay stuck any longer. I have to change because my children, I want them to see their mom as the best me. And so we had a really deep heart-to-heart about how 2021 would not be the year that the past 5 years has been. And that's where the word awaken came about. It's a year to really rise up. 2020 was a hard year for everyone with COVID. It just rocked everyone's world. So my question to you is, do you want another year to pass? Because I keep thinking we're still in 2020. I literally feel like I slept through that year. Like the year just passed and nothing was accomplished. I even wrote it on a date the other day. But I don't want another whole nother year to pass and me wake up and be like, wait, what year are we in? Like what's going on with my life? No, I want to rise up. I want to rise up and become who God created me to be. Because I know that God has a really big plan for you and for me, because that's what his word says in Jeremiah 29:11. It says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope and a future. And we have to cling to that as women. We have to awaken to that, whether our husband does or not, whether our children do or not, whether our friends do or not. It's only our decision to rise up and become who God created us to be. So my question to you is, are you ready to rise up? Do you want to awaken to this life that God has for you? And if so, are you ready to take that step to do that, to really master that mindset, to become all that he's created you to be? So just a little side note where this Awaken journey has led us, and this is going to be part of the Soul Sisters group. When I told my husband, I wouldn't live another year in this rut, we have to change things. Somehow the idea to sell our house, buy an RV, and travel the US, here's our map, we've only seen 10 states, we want to see all of them, became an idea. Like, we got to get out of this rut. We got to change things for the sake of our life. Let's do it. So here we are. I'm sitting in my RV. We closed on our house 2 days ago. We're moving everything out. We are moving into here with our 3-year-old and 3-month-old, and we're about to take an awakening journey ourselves. So in the Soul Sisters group, which is my community, my tribe of women that I help master their mindsets and really just point their lives back towards the Lord. Within that community, you're going to be following this Awaken journey with me. So we're going to have lessons in all the 50 states. We're going to be traveling and just really learning, what does God have for us? What is the plans that he has for us? And I would love, love, love to take you along that journey. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Okay. So if you are truly ready to rise up, to awaken, the first step is to revisit all these mindset trainings. I know maybe you haven't been able to do them all. They're not going anywhere. They're in the Facebook group. They're really good things. So we have all these lives, and we still have 2 more to do after tomorrow. So be sure to, first of all, before you do anything else, watch the mindset trainings. Really use them, because there's some really good stuff in here. Okay. So step 1, watch them. It's going to give you lots of free tools to master your mindset. Step 2, put them into practice, because we're not going to awaken by wanting to awaken. Okay. So we can take in all the information in the world, but if we don't put it into practice, nothing's going to change. So I love the verse in Proverbs 16. It says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. So we have to commit to God what it is that we want to accomplish. And then we have to daily make the choice to put these things into practice. Now, that's easier said than done, because life, right? Life happens. We get distracted, we get discouraged, we get unmotivated, and then we struggle to put this into practice. So that's where step 3 comes in. Step 3 is to find your community. If you don't have a community that's going to help you when life hits, you're going to sink to the bottom and you're going to struggle to get out of that valley. I know, because I've been there. And it is so important to have a community of women around you who's going to uplift and encourage you. And that is where the Awaken journey comes in, that I want to invite you to. For those of you who have been involved in my Soul Sisters in the past, some of you have, some of you haven't. Before, the Soul Sisters was very fitness orientated, and it was a lot of stuff. We were tackling all aspects of wellness, and I believe that's important. I am a total wellness coach, so I don't think it's just fitness or just nutrition. I think it's relationships, stress, anxiety, fitness, finances, all these things that affect our wellness. But within the old Soul Sisters, I was giving you all that stuff, and that's a lot of stuff to consume. So I know a lot of you got kind of bogged down by all the information. It was just hard to keep up with. So we're changing that up a little bit in this Soul Sisters group. I give you so much stuff in that last group: finances, marriage, all these things, and they're all going to be a part of this awakening journey, but they're going to come in small bite-sized pieces so that you can stay focused throughout the week, because I know life is busy. Okay, so in this new Awakening Soul Sisters group, it's going to be very simple, because I want you to be able to achieve it. This group is to help you, not to overwhelm you. Okay, so the way that the new Soul Sisters group is going to look is, this is inside the members portal. You'll just have a couple little areas. You're only going to get 1 piece of content per week. You're not going to get multiple lessons, daily to-dos, because nobody has time for daily to-dos. So you're just going to get 1 lesson per week, okay? And I'm going to break these down a little bit for you. So let's just take a 4-week month, for example. And we all know some months have 5 weeks. So the months that have 5 weeks, week 5 is just your catch-up week. Lord knows we're going to always need a catch-up week. So it's your rest week. It's your catch-up week. But in a typical month, week 1, so let's say May 1st, the week of May 1st is going to be your lessons from the Lord. It's going to be our Bible study week, okay? So every first week of the month, in your online portal right here in the Bible study category, I'm going to drop a new study down here for you. So it is going to be something that God's been teaching me throughout my 50 states journey. It's going to be a lesson that I've learned from him. It's going to be a broad topic for the month that we're going to really focus on. So I'm going to break down with a video training, about a 30-minute video training, Bible study, and that's your homework for the week. That's it. Just a Bible study to do. And it's fun if you can get some friends to do it with you. Join me, but it's going to be a training. The first week of each month, lessons from God. We get to start off with that firm foundation, like I mentioned. So the first thing of every month is our Bible study. Okay, so simple. Week 1, you have a Bible study training. Week 2 is our monthly meetup, okay, because community is crucial. Community is crucial. So the second week of every month, so May 7th, the week of May 7th, we're going to have a Zoom meeting just like this where we get on and we meet up and we talk about the Bible study. We talk about the topic for the month. We answer questions, live Q&As. What are your questions? What are you struggling with? What do you need to be held accountable for? What are your goals? We're going to talk. We're going to meet up, discuss that 90-day success plan that we all have created together, discuss our Bible study together, and just have this amazing community where we can get on and share life together. So that is the second week of each month. You have a monthly meetup. Okay, simple. So 2 trainings so far for the month. Week 3 of the month is your Mastering Mindset training. So if you have enjoyed this series of Mastering Mindset, you're going to love the Awakening journey, because the third week of every month, so May 14th, the week of that, the third week of every month, you will have a new Mastering Mindset video. So it'll be a 30-minute training just like I've been doing over the last 2 weeks. I know the last 2 weeks has been a lot thrown at you all at once. So it's not going to be this much. You're not going to have to do a live video every single week. It's just going to be a monthly video. A monthly video is doable for everyone. It's going to help you refocus your mind on whatever Bible study topic is that month. It's going to help you put into practice all these things we're learning. So the third week, you get a Mastering Mindset training. And then the fourth week, so May 21st, the fourth week of every month, is going to be your Sisters Success Group. Okay, so I'm going to break you guys down into smaller communities of groups, 10 women or less in a group. And this is your sisters group, okay, because while a group of 50 is great, it's also hard to be able to get real and honest with people. I know, because we have a 30-minute time frame, maybe an hour in the training, and it's just hard for everyone to share. So you're going to be broken down into accountability groups. And the fourth week of every month is when you meet up with your accountability group. So within the Sisters Success Group, you are going to have a video call where you guys talk about your 90-day success plan and get really real with each other. So I'll have questions each month for you guys to answer within your group. So there's going to be the Bible study questions, the mindset questions, and then, okay, hey, how am I doing in my 90-day success plan? Because here's what I set the goal for myself, and here's where I'm at. And this is your time to just be honest and real with these ladies and hold each other accountable, because we're all in this group for the same reason. We want to master our mindset. We want to break free from the boundaries that are holding us back, but we can't do it on our own, or we wouldn't be here in this group. We're struggling on our own. And that's why this success group is super duper important. So that's the fourth week of every month. Okay, so it's really easy. It's super easy. It's 1 training per week. That's all you have to keep up with, okay? So I want to ask you this question. I want you to think about this awakening journey, the Soul Sisters group, and I just want you to think about the question of, if all this group did was finally give you the confidence to do something for you, would it be worth it? So ask yourself that. How much would it be worth for you to have the confidence to do that thing you've always wanted to do? To reach that weight loss goal, to reach that relationship goal, to reach that financial goal, to overcome the depression, anxiety, mind battle. If all it did was give you the confidence to do that, would it be worth it? And you have to answer that. Let me ask you this. If all it did was grow you closer to God, would it be worth it? I don't know about you, but I'm like, okay, God, I want to be closer to you because I struggle on my own. So if this is going to grow me closer to you, then I'm in, because I need to grow closer to you. And whether we like it or not, sometimes that's exactly what our trials do. And that's why a group like this is really important, because our mindset comes from, we struggle with trials, right? So to master that mindset, having a group like this can really help that. So if all it did was grow you closer to God, would it be worth it? Another question is, if all it did was give you the ability to overcome the battle of your mind, would it be worth it? I think we can all say yes to that, because we're here because we want to overcome the battle of our mind. And the final question is, if all it did was allow you to crush the goals that you have set for yourself year after year after year and not hit, would it be worth it? If you could finally in 2021 say, yes, I'm going to hit those goals, I'm going to rise up and become that person, would it be worth it? So that's a question that only you can answer. But I wanted to let you know that the Soul Sisters group is opening today, and it's only staying open for 6 days. Okay, so we have 1 week before the cart closes, because the reason is because that 90-day success plan that we talked about, we're going to all start it together in May. Okay, so you have to join within the end of the next week, so that come May 1st, May, June, and July, we reach those 90-day goals together. So the cart is open, and you can get started right now for less than $1 a day. It's super affordable. So if you answered yes to those questions, if you could grow closer to God for less than $1 a day, crush your goals for less than $1 a day, have the confidence to become who you want to be for less than $1 a day, is it worth it to you? So there's a couple different options you can do for our Soul Sisters group. Okay, the first one is just $27 a month, no contract, no commitment. So you could sign up for the month of May, and if you hate it, you just cancel at any time. You don't have to, there's no commitments. So that's for the one who kind of wants to test the water. You want to rise up, but you're not quite ready for a commitment. You can just set it up for a monthly 27. The second one is if you want to save 10%. So this is for those who they're willing to give this thing a try, and you trust that God's brought you here for a purpose. Plus, you like to save money. You're going to save 10% if you pay for the quarter. So you can buy for the next 90 days, the 3-month. And I highly recommend you commit for at least the 90 days, okay? Because it takes that long to start making some progress in our mind, in our goals. And so we made our 90-day success plan. I'd hate for you to quit after a month. And if you sign up for a month, it may be easy to just quit. So I recommend you go ahead and do at least a quarter. That way you're locked in for 3 months and you can say, okay, it's time to rise. But if you're really ready to go all in and rise up and really just achieve over the next year this awakening with me, then I have a 20% discount for anyone who signs up for the whole year. So it's $260 for the year. Okay, so you can pick your package, whichever one you pick, no matter what, it's less than $1 a day. So think about how much money you spend. You spend $5 on a coffee throughout the week. So if you can get some uplifting encouragement to point you towards becoming who God created you to be for less than $1 a day, would you do it? All right, so now we have 2 options from here, okay? Option number 1 is you can do nothing. You don't have to take the leap of faith, and you can just remain stuck for another year like I was for so long. Or you can be brave, rise up to the call, and awaken in 2021. I hope that is what you choose, because I want to help you do that. I am super duper excited for this program, because I know for a fact that it's what God is leading me to and calling me to, and I would love to just help you awaken and rise up to that. So pick your choice, but remember, the cart closes in less than 7 days. Okay, we have a week from today before the cart closes. So you're going to want to make sure you sign up by Sunday. Don't wait until then. You don't want to miss the chance, because once this cart closes, it's not opening again until July. The sisterhood, I want us all in at the start for 90 days. So it won't open again until we get through our first 90-day success plan. Okay, so you're going to want to join if you're ready to awaken with me. Saber and I, look, we're super excited. You can join by simply going to soulfit.com/awaken and /awaken. And that's where you're going to pick your package, which one you want. And you can join me in there. You'll have instant access to the group, and then the trainings will start very soon, as soon as the cart closes. So I hope that this was helpful for you all. I hope to see you guys within the Awakening group. because I know that God is just going to help us really rise up and become who we're meant to be this year. I'll see you guys inside the group. Have a great day.